Hey, how many LinkedIn messages have you gotten this week asking you for just a quick call or can I get on your calendar for a couple of minutes? And how many of those did you actually respond to? Because let's face it, asking for a quick call isn't a strategy, it's really a lazy outreach. Nobody who values their time is saying yes to that. Stick around, you're going to want to hear why I say that.
This is the Franchise Pitfalls and Profit Show. Each week, we bring you the challenges and triumphs of being in the franchise development and consulting business. The things you need to make money faster. And now your host, one of the most successful franchise developers in North America, Don Shin.
Hey, welcome back to Franchise Pitfalls and Profits, the show where we get real serious, we get real specific, we get really deep on the things that are going to help you be better at what you do, whether you're a buyer, whether you're a broker, or whether you're a franchise brand. We're helping you get better at doing what you do. So let me start out with a confession. Every week, literally, probably every day, I get flooded with LinkedIn messages and emails that sound exactly the same. Hey, Don, can we schedule a quick call? Hey, would you like to connect? I'd like to get on your calendar. Hey, I'd like to get your opinions on such and such. Hey, I'd love to hear more about your business. That one drives me crazy. Like, why don't you just think and read my LinkedIn profile? But anyway, now maybe you sent some of those yourself, and I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand. I get it. If we've all been taught somewhere along the line that the big goal is to get a call with somebody, get in front of your prospects. But here's a problem with that approach, that reach out rarely works. And when you send those kinds of messages, you're putting the burden on me, on your prospect, to stop everything I'm doing in my world that's important and give you the most valuable resource that I have, which is my time. So, especially if you're in a very competitive space, how to leverage LinkedIn, how to lead gen, setting up appointments for other people, you're just not standing out. And here's the truth: people who value their time highly, which are the ones you want to be in front of, they're the ones who are good and quick decision makers. They're the great business people. They won't respond to this, give you some of my time. They see that message, they roll their eyes, and they move on. I can't tell you how many times I read those, and my head's going to explode. So, and honestly, again, for the high quality business prospects that you want to get with, you want to sell to, you want to do business with, I'm not alone in this reaction. That's exactly how they're reacting. So let's get real about this. What are you actually asking for when you fire off that's let's jump on a quick call note? What you're saying is, I don't know. I haven't shown you any value yet, but I want you to give me the most valuable thing you have. I want you to carve out some time in your busy and important day for me anyway, even though I've not shown you any value. So let's flip this around. If someone sent you that message, how likely are you to say yes? Unless you have land, and it does happen. Very rarely will I respond to some of those, but every once in a while, it hits me at the perfect time. Yeah, I've been thinking about that, or something they said, something else they said about their company or their profile or the product or their service. I can see, that might be worth pursuing or looking at, or I'm just a little bit curious if nothing else, to learn something, to see how that would work into something I'm doing. But again, you have got to hit that. That is random. It's like a needle in the haystack to find that person, that exact person at the right time that is shopping for your product or your service. The answer is slim to none that they will ever respond to that type of outreach. So here's the biggest problem. If you are a franchise broker, you're a franchise development rep, or you're a founder of a franchise trying to grow your emerging brand, you cannot build a pipeline on luck and on perfect timing. You will starve. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people are doing today. They are kind of like playing the lottery with their outreach, playing the lottery with their marketing, instead of doing the work to build trust and build relationships. I'm going to give you a story. A while back, I had someone hit me with a canned pitch on LinkedIn, and it was obvious that they had not read a single thing about me. They didn't know what I did. They didn't know anything about my company. They didn't know what I teach, my subject matter, my service. They didn't even know who my audience would be. It was just a copy and paste template that they dropped into my inbox. So now here's what's interesting. 2 days later, I had another message from someone else. But this person mentioned a very specific piece of content that I had posted. They referenced my podcast. They tied it all into what they were doing. And they asked me a thoughtful question about franchise sales. They asked my position, my opinion, my insights on something that I would have knowledge about. And so, guess which one that I responded to? It's the one that did their homework. And by the way, it didn't lead to a quick call, it led to a conversation, it led to a dialogue, it led to a few messages back and forth. And eventually, that kind of engagement is going to lead to business. So, here's why the quick call pitch thing doesn't work, because it's about you, it's not about them. You are asking for their time without offering anything first. The second thing is it's really untargeted. Most people you hit aren't in the buying mode. Maybe they're the right target market in the long run, but they are not in the buying mode. So, it just bounces off of them. It's irrelevant to them because they're not buying. And the third reason it doesn't work is it just kind of feels lazy to me. People can smell when you put in zero effort into knowing who they are, and knowing what they're about, and making a little bit of effort, doing your homework, making it personal. They feel that. And people aren't going to respond to that. And the fourth thing is it ignores the reality of timing. Even if they will need what you eventually offer, or what you offer eventually, you are probably catching them at the wrong moment. The right moment could be later on, but you're catching them at the right moment. And that's the reality of these cold type reach outs. It's like proposing marriage on the first date. Even if you're the right fit for that person, the timing of your proposal makes it all wrong. So, where do we go from here? What does really work in this space? What really works is preparing. It's doing your homework. It's taking the time to what I call hyper-personalize. That's what this looks like in real practice. Research them, read their profile, check out their company, look for things they are posting that you can reference. If I really know for sure a specific person or at a specific company is who I want to outreach to or reach out to, or flip it. If I get a lead in for me as a franchisor or as a broker, somebody who's looking for my services, I look them up on every platform I can find them: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Go research even your prospects who are reaching out to you as a broker, but do your homework. Check people out first. Have a much higher quality conversation at that first engagement. This is a differentiator. Almost nobody does this. So if you do this, people will immediately understand they're working with a professional. Another way that this looks like in real practice is to reference something real. Again, maybe it's a post that they did, or maybe it's something they've downloaded onto their profile. Maybe you see an award or some place that they've been mentioned in an article, in a newspaper or a business journal, or maybe they've been highlighted in their industry. But reference something that is real and real to them. Another piece is to lead with value. I think if you get nothing else out of this podcast, I want you to get leading with value, because what you're asking me to do is to give you something of value when you want to get on my calendar. So I believe if we are the first ones to offer value, that's a real give. So share some insights on something. Provide a tool that maybe you've created, or maybe there's an article. Maybe you have a little portfolio or folder of articles that you can use to give to people. But lead with value. Give them something first. I find that to be incredibly important and incredibly successful. And then the last piece is just all of this together combines what I call earning the right to have that conversation. When you give first, people are happy to engage. Now, yes, this takes work. It can be somewhat manual and labor intensive. It could be automated. It's probably a little less personalized. It's probably not quite hyper personalized. But at least to get started with this mindset, it's manual first and do your homework. This is exactly why it works, because people are too lazy generally to make this effort. Your competitors are not doing this. You will instantly stand out above the crowd. And yes, again, you can use some automation. Use a VA. Honestly, there are virtual assistants overseas that work at significantly lower pay grades than you do. If you teach them well and groom them, and some of them are doing this already for some people, and so they may already have this skill set and can do a pretty doggone good job at doing this for you. So it might even beat automation, but it's going to gather the details. And then again, you just put on some type of a personal touch. Even with this kind of support, you've still got to think about that person. When you teach your VA or you teach your AI, you've got to focus them on the other person and why they would actually care about talking to you. So, here's just a quick teaching moment, because I think here's the secret. Hyper personalization doesn't just get you more responses, it actually qualifies your leads. So think about this. If you take the time to tailor your outreach to a specific person, they're going to perk up. They're going to engage. And they've basically pre qualified themselves when they respond to this personal reach out. They've shown that they care about the conversation. They will engage when you make this kind of an effort. How do I know that? Hello, I do this. So I would compare that to blasting out 100 messages to 100 people and maybe landing one call, if you're lucky, with someone who just happened to be desperate that day, or just was a little bit curious and gave you a few minutes or responded. But which pipeline would you rather have? The smaller but full pipeline of the personalized version, or what personalized outreach generates, or this random massive, maybe one or two that really aren't good leads. You can decide which one of those pipelines you'd rather have. So here's my challenge to you for the next week. Resist that urge to send just another lazy, quick call message. Instead, pick 10 people. Just go with 10. It's a small number. Trust me, you can manage it. And do your homework on each one of those 10. Personalize the outreach. Give them something that matters to them, an insight. I wouldn't even ask a question. I mean, you could ask a detailed question, but don't make it, I'm really interested in your business. Would you tell me more? It can't be that kind of a question. And some of the questions, honestly, I think sometimes get a little stupid, and I ignore those. So I'm looking for something that's of more value. Share an insight about the industry that they're in. Share an insight about career transition. Share a resource. Maybe you've developed it. I just shared with one here, my 50 plus one things white paper that I wrote. Don't ask for anything back. Just give them something of value and see what happens with those 10. I guarantee you will have much better conversations. You will get much better candidates. You'll feel much more confident in the whole process, and you will start building relationships, candidly, that actually lead somewhere. So, this kind of stuff we dive into in our course, fsacourse.com, the Franchise Sales Accelerator course. It's actually kind of the DNA of something we have in development. Reach out to me if you'd be interested in a subscription service that has just tons and tons of resources in it and available to you. It's called the Franchise Builders Collective. Just go on franchisebuildingexpert.com to the contact us section and either put in FSA course or put in Franchise Builders Collective, two different things. We are teaching you how to build relationships. We're teaching you how to give value, and we're teaching you how to do it right away. This isn't rocket science, but nobody's doing it, and you will stand out when you decide to do it. So, before I close, two quick things. My podcast today, in just several months, has over 6,000 subscribers. Reach out to me if you'd like to get in front of 6,000 more people. And then lastly, I just love to leave you with why I do this every day. What drives me? I think franchising isn't simply about sales. It's not simply about systems. It's certainly about neither of them first. It's about the person. It's about the family. It's about the employees and their families through the employment opportunities that a franchise opening helps. And it's about the communities that franchise owners impact. All of these things are on the other side of the signature of the franchise agreement. So for me, life is about people and helping people step into ownership, building businesses, changing their lives, their families' lives, their employees' lives, and their communities. And it's about doing it the right way. When we equip people with the right foundations, leadership, sales, finances, decision making, all types of things, we're not just building businesses, we are building legacies. And like David in the book of Acts in the Bible said, my purpose is to serve well in my generation. I am creating impact in my grandchildren's lives, and I want to have it multi-generational. What drives me is to be able to have such an impact that it's helping my grandchildren's grandchildren all along the way, realizing that we want to give God ultimately all the glory. Thanks for watching, and come back and see us soon.